Space Meditation Journey, a Galactic Sojourn for Mental Relaxation. Space Meditation Journey, a Galactic Sojourn for Mental Relaxation is a unique narrative that combines the tranquility of meditation with the wonder of space exploration. Through gentle storytelling, it takes readers on an immersive journey across the galaxy, allowing them to experience the vastness of the universe while achieving a deep state of mental relaxation. As the protagonist embarks on these cosmic adventures, readers are invited to follow along, letting go of their daily stress and tensions. The story unfolds in a slow-paced, soothing manner, filled with vivid descriptions of celestial landscapes, from the swirling nebulae to the twinkling stars. It's not just a story but a guided meditation in the form of a narrative, designed to help readers unwind, find inner peace, and perhaps even drift into a peaceful slumber. Chapter 1: Embarking on the Celestial Dreamscape. Welcome to tonight's space meditation journey. At this moment, gently close your eyes, casting aside the thoughts and concerns of the day. Let your body settle into stillness, as light and effortless as a speck of stardust adrift in the boundless expanse of the universe, free from the constraints of gravity. In a quaint, idyllic town nestled amidst rolling hills, there lived a young woman named Serenity. Serenity was a soul deeply attuned to the whispers of the universe. Every night, as the sky darkened and the stars emerged like jewels scattered across a velvet canopy, she would find herself drawn outdoors, her heart filled with a yearning for something beyond the ordinary. One particularly peaceful evening, as the full moon bathed the world in its silver glow, Serenity decided to embark on an experiment of the mind. She had long been fascinated by the practice of meditation and its potential to unlock hidden realms of consciousness. With a sense of eager anticipation, she laid out a soft, plush mat in the center of her garden. The grass beneath the mat was cool and slightly damp, adding to the serene atmosphere. Lying down, Serenity closed her eyes and took a deep, cleansing breath. Inhaling, she filled her lungs with the crisp night air, carrying with it the faint scent of blooming flowers. As she exhaled, she imagined releasing all the stress, all the worries, and all the clutter of the day. With each successive breath, she felt herself sinking deeper into a state of relaxation, her body becoming heavier as her mind grew lighter. Suddenly, a strange yet not unwelcome sensation overtook her. It was as if an invisible hand had reached down from the heavens and was gently lifting her, pulling her away from the familiar embrace of the earth. When she opened her inner vision, she was greeted by a sight that took her breath away. Serenity found herself surrounded by a kaleidoscope of stars. They were not just distant points of light but vibrant, living entities, each with its own unique radiance. Some stars burned with a fierce, white, hot intensity, their light so bright it seemed to pierce through the darkness. Others glowed with a soft, warm hue, like the embers of a dying fire, casting a comforting glow. She began to float among the stars, a sense of weightlessness and freedom washing over her. As she drifted, she noticed a large, swirling nebula in the distance. It was a cosmic masterpiece, a cloud of gas and dust illuminated by the light of newly formed stars within. The nebula was a riot of colors, deep purples, electric blues, and soft pinks, all blending together in a mesmerizing dance. As Serenity drew closer to the nebula, she could feel its energy. It was a gentle, pulsating force, like the beating of a cosmic heart. The nebula was a cradle of creation, a place where new stars were being born. She could sense the raw potential within, the slow coalescence of matter under the influence of gravity. It was a process that had been occurring for billions of years, a constant cycle of birth and renewal in the universe. Entering the nebula, Serenity was surrounded by a soft, diffused light. The gas and dust particles seemed to swirl around her, almost as if they were welcoming her into their cosmic womb. She could hear a faint, humming sound, a cosmic symphony composed of the vibrations of the nebula's components. It was a sound that seemed to resonate deep within her, soothing her mind and calming her spirit. As she continued her journey through the nebula, Serenity came across a group of protostars. These were the embryonic forms of stars, still in the early stages of their development. They were small, but their energy was palpable. Serenity watched in awe as they slowly accreted mass, their gravitational pull growing stronger with each passing moment. It was a fascinating process to witness, a reminder of the power and beauty of the universe's creative forces. Leaving the nebula behind, Serenity found herself in a region of space filled with a multitude of stars. They were arranged in various patterns, some forming constellations that were familiar to her from her earthly stargazing, while others were completely new and mysterious. She floated among them, feeling a deep sense of connection to these celestial bodies. One particular star caught her attention. It was a red giant, its size dwarfing those around it. The star was in the later stages of its life, its outer layers expanding as its core contracted. Serenity could sense the star's age and wisdom. It had witnessed the birth and death of countless other stars, and it seemed to be sharing its knowledge with her in a silent, telepathic way. As she lingered near the red giant, Serenity began to reflect on the cycle of life and death in the universe. Just as the star was going through its final stages, so too did all things in the cosmos have a beginning, a middle, and an end. But within this cycle, there was also the promise of new beginnings, of rebirth, and renewal. Continuing on her journey, Serenity came across a binary star system. two stars, one larger and hotter, the other smaller and cooler, were locked in a gravitational embrace, orbiting each other in a graceful dance. The interaction between the two stars was a complex one, with matter being transferred from one to the other in a continuous exchange. Serenity watched the binary stars for a while, marveling at the harmony and balance of their relationship. It was a reminder that even in the vastness of the universe, there was a sense of order and interconnectedness. Every celestial body had a role to play, and their interactions shaped the cosmos as a whole. As the hours passed, Serenity began to feel a gentle pull, guiding her back towards the earthly realm. With a tinge of sadness, she realized that her time in the cosmic expanse was coming to an end. But this time, she carried with her a deeper understanding of the universe and her place in it. Opening her eyes, Serenity found herself back in her garden. The familiar sight of the grass, the flowers, and the surrounding trees greeted her. But now, she saw them with new eyes. She saw the beauty and interconnectedness of all things, a microcosm of the greater universe she had just visited. With a sense of peace and contentment, Serenity got up from the mat and made her way into her house. As she climbed into bed, her mind was filled with the memories of her cosmic journey. The stars, the nebulae, the protostars, and the binary stars, they were all etched in her memory, a beautiful dreamscape that she knew she would carry with her always. As she closed her eyes and drifted off to sleep, Serenity felt a sense of calm and relaxation wash over her. The stresses of the day were long forgotten, replaced by the tranquility of the cosmic realm. And as she slept, she knew that the universe held countless more wonders waiting to be discovered, and she looked forward to her next space meditation journey with eager anticipation. As the night deepened, Serenity's dreams were filled with the images of the stars. She saw the red giant, its outer layers shedding like a dying phoenix, preparing for its final transformation. She saw the binary stars, their dance continuing for eternity, a symbol of the eternal rhythm of the universe. And she saw the nebula, a cosmic nursery, teeming with the potential for new life. In her dreams, Serenity found herself back in the cosmic expanse, but this time, she was not alone. She was surrounded by other beings, all of whom were on their own spiritual journeys. They were from different corners of the universe, some humanoid in form, others completely alien. But they all shared a common bond, a deep connection to the cosmos and a desire to understand its mysteries. Serenity interacted with these beings, sharing her experiences and learning from theirs. One being, a tall, luminous figure with wings made of pure light, taught her about the power of thought and intention in the universe. Another, a small, spherical creature with 1,000 eyes, showed her how to sense the subtle energies that connected all things. As the dream continued, Serenity felt a sense of unity with these beings and with the universe as a whole. She realized that she was not just an individual on a solitary journey but a part of a vast, interconnected web of life. And with this realization came a deep sense of peace and purpose. When Serenity woke up the next morning, she carried the sense of peace and purpose with her. She went about her day with a new-found sense of appreciation for the world around her. The simplest things, the chirping of the birds, the warmth of the sun on her face, the smell of freshly cut grass, all took on a new significance. As the evening approached, Serenity once again found herself drawn to the garden. The mat was waiting for her, a silent invitation to embark on another cosmic adventure. With a smile on her face, she lay down, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath. And as she sank into a state of relaxation, she could already feel the familiar pull of the cosmos, inviting her to explore its secrets once more. Chapter 2: The Cosmic Labyrinth of Inner Discovery. As the sun set on the idyllic town where Serenity lived, casting long shadows across her garden, she once again found herself drawn to the familiar meditation mat. The air was filled with the sweet scent of blooming roses, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves of the nearby trees, creating a soft, soothing melody. Serenity lay down on the mat, her body relaxing into its familiar contours, and closed her eyes. With a deep breath, she began to let go of the day's thoughts and tensions. Inhaling, she filled her lungs with the cool evening air, and as she exhaled, she imagined releasing all the clutter from her mind. The process was like shedding an old skin, leaving behind the mundane and opening herself up to the cosmic realm. Once again, the now familiar sensation of weightlessness overtook her. When she opened her inner vision, Serenity found herself in a region of space that was unlike any she had seen before. The stars here were arranged in a complex, maze-like pattern, creating what seemed to be a vast cosmic labyrinth. The labyrinth was not made of physical walls but of streams of energy that pulsed and flowed between the stars. These energy streams were a riot of colors. Some were a bright, electric blue, others a deep, amethyst purple, and some a warm, golden yellow. They crisscrossed each other, forming a seemingly endless series of paths. Serenity was immediately drawn to the labyrinth. As she entered, she could feel the energy of the streams coursing through her. The blue-hued energy seemed to clear her mind, making her thoughts sharp and focused. The purple energy, on the other hand, filled her with a sense of intuition, as if she could sense the hidden secrets of the universe. And the golden energy brought with it a feeling of warmth and comfort, like a gentle embrace. As she walked along one of the paths, Serenity noticed that the stars within the labyrinth were not just sources of light but also seemed to be reservoirs of knowledge. Each star she passed by emitted a faint glow, and as she got closer, images and information flooded her mind. One star showed her the history of a long-lost civilization. She saw their great cities, built with a technology that was a harmonious blend of science and magic. Their society was based on the principles of balance and respect for nature. They had mastered the art of harnessing the energy of the stars in a way that was both sustainable and beneficial to all. But, like all things in the universe, their civilization had come to an end, destroyed by a cataclysmic event that had ripped through their solar system. Another star revealed to her the secrets of cosmic energy manipulation. It showed her how different forms of energy could be harnessed, combined, and directed for various purposes. She learned that every being in the universe had the potential to tap into this energy, but it required a deep understanding of oneself and the universe around them. As Serenity continued her journey through the labyrinth, she came across a region where the energy streams were particularly dense. In the center of this region, there was a large, crystalline structure. The crystal was pulsating with a bright, white light, and as she approached, she could feel its power. Touching the crystal, Serenity was filled with a surge of energy. It was as if the crystal was a key that unlocked a part of her own potential. She could feel her consciousness expanding, and she was able to see the labyrinth in a new way. The paths that had once seemed confusing now made perfect sense, and she could see the interconnectedness of all the energy streams. Leaving the crystal behind, Serenity followed a new path that led her to a circular clearing within the labyrinth. In the center of the clearing, there was a small, glowing pool. The water in the pool was a deep, iridescent blue, and it seemed to be filled with a liquid light. As she approached the pool, Serenity could feel a strong urge to immerse herself in it. She stepped into the pool, and as the liquid light surrounded her, she felt a profound sense of purification. All the negative emotions, the doubts, and the fears that she had been carrying within her seemed to dissolve in the pool. The liquid light also seemed to enhance her connection to the cosmic energy. She could feel the energy of the stars, the energy of the labyrinth, and her own inner energy merging into one. It was a powerful and transformative experience. As she emerged from the pool, Serenity noticed a figure standing at the edge of the clearing. It was a being made entirely of starlight, its form shifting and changing like a living constellation. The being looked at her with eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of the ages. The star being communicated with her telepathically, telling her that the labyrinth was not just a physical place but also a reflection of her inner self. Each path, each star, and each encounter within the labyrinth was a lesson, a chance for her to grow and evolve. It also warned her that the journey through the labyrinth was not without its challenges. There were parts of the labyrinth where the energy could be overwhelming, and she would need to rely on her new-found knowledge and strength to overcome them. Thanking the star being, Serenity continued her journey. As she walked, she came across a section of the labyrinth where the energy streams were in a state of chaos. The normally ordered paths were disrupted, and the colors of the energy were muddled. Serenity knew that this was one of the challenges the star being had warned her about. Drawing on the energy she had gained from the crystal and the pool, she focused her mind. She visualized the energy streams calming down, returning to their ordered state. Slowly but surely, the chaos began to subside. The energy streams regained their colors, and the paths became clear once again. As she moved forward, Serenity found herself in a part of the labyrinth where the stars were arranged in the shape of a large, open book. The pages of the book were made of a strange, translucent material, and on them were inscribed symbols and images that she had never seen before. Approaching the cosmic book, Serenity could feel a powerful energy emanating from it. As she touched the pages, the symbols and images began to move, and a flood of knowledge entered her mind. She learned about the different dimensions of the universe, how they were interconnected, and how one could travel between them. The book also taught her about the importance of balance in the universe. It showed her how the forces of creation and destruction, light and dark, were two sides of the same coin. Only by understanding and embracing this balance could one truly understand the nature of the universe. As the night began to wane, Serenity felt the familiar pull of the earthly realm. With a sense of gratitude for the experiences and knowledge she had gained, she prepared to return. Opening her eyes, she found herself back in her garden. The first rays of dawn were starting to peek over the horizon, casting a soft, golden glow over the world. Serenity lay back on the mat, looking up at the fading stars. The memories of her cosmic journey were like a precious treasure in her mind. She knew that these experiences were not just dreams but real encounters with the deeper truths of the universe. As the day passed, Serenity carried the lessons of her journey with her. She saw the world around her with new eyes, noticing the hidden connections and the potential for growth in everything. She interacted with others with a new-found sense of patience and understanding, knowing that everyone was on their own journey of self-discovery. As the evening approached once again, Serenity was filled with anticipation for her next space meditation journey. She knew that the cosmic labyrinth held countless more secrets waiting to be discovered, and she was eager to continue exploring the depths of the universe and her own inner self. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the landscape, Serenity made her way back to the garden. The mat was waiting for her, a silent promise of another adventure into the cosmic unknown. She sat down, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath, ready to once again surrender herself to the magic of the universe. As she drifted into a state of deep relaxation, she could already feel the familiar pull of the cosmos, inviting her to explore its secrets once more. As she delved deeper into her meditation, Serenity's consciousness expanded even further. She found herself back in the cosmic labyrinth, but this time, it was different. The labyrinth seemed to be in a state of transformation. The energy streams were evolving, taking on new colors and patterns. The star, being that she had met before, reappeared. It told her that her actions within the labyrinth had set in motion a chain of events. By restoring order to the chaotic section of the labyrinth and learning from the cosmic book, she had influenced the very fabric of this cosmic realm. The star, being then led her to a new part of the labyrinth that had previously been hidden. This area was filled with what seemed to be cosmic seeds. These seeds were small, glowing orbs, each pulsating with a unique energy. The star, being explained that these seeds were the potential for new cosmic creations. Serenity was given the task of choosing one of the seeds and nurturing it. She carefully selected a seed that emitted a soft, green, hued light. As she held it in her hand, she could feel its energy connecting with her own. The star, being showed her how to use the energy of the labyrinth to nurture the seed. Serenity focused her mind, channeling the energy of the surrounding stars and energy streams into the seed. Slowly, the seed began to grow. It sprouted a small, delicate stem, which then grew into a vine-like structure. As the vine grew, it began to wrap around the nearby stars, creating a new pattern within the labyrinth. The vine was not just a physical structure but was also a conduit for cosmic energy. It seemed to be drawing energy from the stars and redistributing it in a new, harmonious way. As the vine continued to grow, it started to bear fruit. The fruits were small, crystalline orbs, each containing a new form of cosmic knowledge. Serenity realized that by nurturing the seed, she had not only created something new in the labyrinth but had also unlocked new levels of understanding. The star, being then explained that this was a metaphor for her own life. Just as she had nurtured the cosmic seed, she could also nurture the seeds of her own potential. By using the knowledge and experiences she gained from the cosmic realm, she could grow and evolve, creating a more fulfilling and meaningful life. As the night drew to a close, Serenity once again felt the pull of the earthly realm. With a heart full of new, found knowledge and a sense of purpose, she prepared to return. Opening her eyes, she was back in her garden, the world around her bathed in the soft light of dawn. Serenity knew that her space meditation journeys were taking her on an ever deeper exploration of the mysteries of the universe and her own inner self. With each journey, she was becoming more attuned to the cosmic rhythms, and she was determined to use this understanding to make a positive impact on the world around her. And as she looked forward to the next night, she was filled with excitement and anticipation for the new cosmic revelations that awaited her. Chapter 3: Cosmic Encounters, Meeting the Celestial Beings. The night air was thick with the promise of adventure as Serenity once again made her way to her garden meditation spot. The moon, a pale crescent, hung low in the sky, casting a soft, silver glow over the landscape. With a sense of eager anticipation, she settled onto her meditation mat, the familiar surface beneath her providing a sense of comfort and grounding. Closing her eyes, Serenity took a deep breath, inhaling the cool, fragrant air that carried the scent of freshly mown grass and blooming wildflowers. As she exhaled, she let go of the day's worries and distractions, allowing her mind to empty and her body to relax. With each successive breath, she felt herself sinking deeper into a state of tranquility, her consciousness gradually detaching from the earthly plane and reaching out towards the cosmic expanse. As the now familiar sensation of weightlessness enveloped her, Serenity found herself in a region of space that was bathed in a warm, golden light. The stars here were not the distant, twinkling points she was accustomed to, but rather large, luminous orbs that seemed to pulsate with a gentle, rhythmic energy. In the distance, she noticed a group of figures approaching. As they drew nearer, Serenity could make out their forms. They were celestial beings, each one more magnificent than the last. The first being was tall and slender, with wings that seemed to be made of pure stardust, glistening and shimmering in the cosmic light. Its eyes were a deep, piercing blue, filled with wisdom and kindness. The second being was more compact in form, but no less imposing. It was surrounded by a corona of swirling energy, and its body seemed to be made of a substance that was both solid and fluid, constantly shifting and changing shape. Its face was serene, with eyes that glowed a soft, purple hue. The third being was the largest of the group. It resembled a great, majestic lion, but its body was made of a crystalline material that refracted the light in 1,000 different directions, creating a dazzling display. Its eyes were a fierce, golden yellow, and it had a presence that commanded respect. The celestial being stopped in front of Serenity, and the one with the stardust wings spoke. Its voice was like a gentle melody, filling Serenity's mind with a sense of peace and calm. "Welcome, Serenity," it said. "We have been expecting you. You have been on a remarkable journey through the cosmic labyrinth, and your growth has not gone unnoticed." Serenity was in awe of these beings. She had never encountered anything like them before. "Who are you?" she asked, her voice filled with curiosity. The being with the stardust wings smiled. We are the guardians of the cosmic balance. We watch over the universe, ensuring that the forces of light and dark, creation and destruction, remain in harmony. We have seen your efforts to understand the universe and to bring order to the chaos you have encountered. The being surrounded by the swirling energy then took over. Your actions in the cosmic labyrinth have had far-reaching consequences. The new creation you nurtured has not only affected the labyrinth but has also sent ripples through the fabric of the universe. It has inspired other beings to seek balance and growth in their own realms. The crystalline lion, like being added, but there are challenges ahead. There are forces in the universe that seek to disrupt the balance, to tip the scales in favor of chaos and darkness. These forces are aware of your influence and may try to stop you. Serenity felt a sense of determination well up within her. I'm ready to face these challenges, she said. I want to help maintain the cosmic balance. The guardians of the cosmic balance nodded in approval. We believe in you, Serenity, said the stardust, winged being. But first, you must learn more about the nature of these forces and how to counter them. The guardians then led Serenity to a large, circular platform made of a strange, glowing material. As they stepped onto the platform began to rise, carrying them higher into the cosmic expanse. Below them, Serenity could see a vast expanse of space filled with what seemed to be dark clouds. These clouds were not ordinary clouds but were made of a dense, malevolent energy. These are the clouds of the Dark Ones, said the being with the purple, glowing eyes. They are the source of the imbalance in the universe. They seek to spread their darkness, consuming the light and life of the cosmos. The stardust, winged being continued. The Dark Ones are not physical beings in the traditional sense. They are born from the negative emotions of beings across the universe: hatred, greed, and fear. These emotions have coalesced over time, forming a powerful, malevolent force. The crystalline lion, like being added, to counter the Dark Ones, you must first understand your own emotions. You must learn to master them, to turn the negative into positive. Only then can you hope to face the Dark Ones and restore balance. The Guardians then began to teach Serenity. They showed her how to use the energy of the stars to strengthen her emotional resilience. They taught her how to channel her emotions into a force for good, rather than allowing them to control her. They also showed her how to sense the presence of the Dark Ones. The Dark Ones left behind a trail of disrupted energy, a sort of cosmic pollution. By learning to detect this disrupted energy, Serenity would be able to anticipate their movements and take action. As the lesson continued, Serenity practiced what the guardians were teaching her. She focused on her emotions, feeling the anger, fear, and sadness that she had buried deep within her. But instead of letting these emotions overwhelm her, she used the energy of the stars to transform them. She channeled the negative emotions into a positive force, a determination to fight against the dark ones. After what seemed like hours, the guardians declared that Serenity had made significant progress. "You are ready to take the next step," said the Stardust, winged being. "But beware, the Dark Ones will not go down easily. They will do everything in their power to stop you." Serenity nodded. "I'm ready," she said, her voice filled with resolve. The guardians then lowered the platform back to the region where they had first met. "Remember, Serenity," said the being with the purple, glowing eyes. "You are not alone in this fight. There are many beings across the universe who are also working to maintain the balance. You must seek them out, form alliances, and together, you can face the Dark Ones." With those words, the guardians began to fade away. Serenity watched as they disappeared, their forms melting into the cosmic light. But their words remained with her, a constant reminder of the task ahead. As the night began to wane, Serenity felt the familiar pull of the earthly realm. With a sense of new-found purpose and determination, she prepared to return. Opening her eyes, she found herself back in her garden. The first rays of dawn were starting to paint the sky with hues of pink and orange. Serenity lay back on the mat, looking up at the fading stars. The memories of her encounter with the guardians of the cosmic balance were vivid in her mind. She knew that the journey ahead would be difficult, but she was ready. She carried with her the knowledge and the strength that the guardians had given her, and she was determined to do whatever it took to maintain the cosmic balance. As the day passed, Serenity couldn't stop thinking about the Dark Ones and the task that lay ahead. She spent the day meditating, honing the skills that the guardians had taught her. She practiced sensing the disrupted energy, imagining scenarios where she would encounter the Dark Ones and how she would respond. As the evening approached once again, Serenity was filled with a mix of anticipation and trepidation. She knew that the next step in her cosmic journey would be crucial. She was about to embark on a search for other beings who were also fighting against the Dark Ones, to form an alliance that would stand against the forces of darkness. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the landscape, Serenity made her way back to the garden. The mat was waiting for her, a silent promise of another adventure into the cosmic unknown. She sat down, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath, ready to once again surrender herself to the magic of the universe. As she drifted into a state of deep relaxation, she could already feel the familiar pull of the cosmos, inviting her to continue her quest to maintain the cosmic balance. As she delved deeper into her meditation, Serenity's consciousness expanded further. She found herself back in the region of the cosmic platform, but this time, she was not alone. There were other beings, similar to her, who had also been called upon by the Guardians to fight against the Dark Ones. One of the beings was a small, humanoid figure with a body that seemed to be made of a blue, glowing crystal. Its eyes were large and round, filled with a curious and intelligent light. Another being was a tall, lanky creature with long, flowing tentacles instead of arms. Its skin was a deep, iridescent purple, and it had a gentle, soothing presence. Serenity introduced herself to the other beings, and they shared their stories. The crystal-like being, whose name was Elian, had been on a journey of self-discovery in the cosmic forests when the Guardians had appeared to it. It had learned about the power of crystal energy and how it could be used to counter the Dark Ones. The purple-skinned being, named Zephyr, had been exploring the cosmic oceans when the Guardians had called upon it. It had mastered the art of controlling the energy of the cosmic tides and believed that this power could be used to disrupt the Dark One's plans. Together, Serenity, Elian, and Zephyr decided to form an alliance. They knew that they would need to work together if they were to have any hope of facing the Dark Ones. They began to discuss their strategies, sharing their knowledge and skills. Elian suggested that they use the crystal energy to create a shield around areas that were vulnerable to the Dark One's influence. Zephyr proposed that they use the power of the cosmic tides to wash away the disrupted energy left behind by the Dark Ones. And Serenity added that they should also focus on raising the awareness of other beings in the universe about the threat of the Dark Ones, so that more could join their cause. As they continued to plan, they noticed a strange phenomenon. The dark clouds of the Dark Ones seemed to be shifting. It was as if the Dark Ones were aware of their alliance and were preparing to strike. Serenity, Elian, and Zephyr knew that they had to act quickly. They decided to split up, each taking on a different task. Elian would begin to create the crystal shields around key cosmic locations. Zephyr would start using the power of the cosmic tides to clean up the disrupted energy. And Serenity would set out to find more beings who could join their alliance. With a sense of determination, the three beings set off on their respective tasks. Serenity knew that the road ahead would be long and difficult, but she was confident that together, they could make a difference. She was ready to face whatever challenges the Dark Ones threw at them, and she was determined to restore the cosmic balance. As the night drew to a close, Serenity once again felt the pull of the earthly realm. But this time, she was not alone. She carried with her the strength and support of her new-found allies. Opening her eyes, she was back in her garden, the world around her bathed in the soft light of dawn. Serenity knew that her space meditation journeys had taken on a new significance. She was no longer just exploring the cosmos for personal growth, but was now part of a larger effort to protect the universe from the forces of darkness. And as she looked forward to the next night, she was filled with a sense of hope and purpose, eager to continue her quest and to see what new allies and challenges awaited her. Chapter 4: The Cosmic Alliance, United Against the Darkness. The night sky stretched above Serenity like an endless expanse of velvet, dotted with the twinkling jewels of the stars. The air in her garden was filled with a sense of expectancy as she once again lay down on her meditation mat. The events of her previous cosmic encounters still fresh in her mind, Serenity was more determined than ever to strengthen the cosmic alliance and face the impending threat of the Dark Ones. Closing her eyes, she took a deep breath, the cool night air filling her lungs. As she exhaled, she let go of any remaining earthly distractions, allowing her mind to be fully present in the moment. With each subsequent breath, she felt herself being drawn deeper into the cosmic realm, her consciousness expanding to embrace the vastness of the universe. When Serenity opened her inner vision, she found herself in a region of space that was a swirling maelstrom of energy. Streams of light, both bright and muted, crisscrossed each other, creating a dazzling display. In the center of this chaos, a large, pulsating sphere of light appeared. As she approached, she realized it was a cosmic meeting point, a place where beings from different corners of the universe could gather. Serenity stepped into the sphere, and to her surprise, she found it filled with a diverse group of beings. There were small, winged creatures with iridescent feathers that flitted about, their wings leaving trails of stardust in the air. There were also large, imposing figures, their bodies made of a metallic-looking substance that glinted in the ambient light. And among them were beings that seemed to be composed entirely of energy, their forms shifting and changing like living flames. A being with a body made of a deep, blue, translucent material approached Serenity. Its eyes were like two glowing orbs, and it communicated with her through a series of gentle pulses of energy. "Welcome, Serenity. Your reputation has spread throughout the cosmos. We are all here, united in our cause to fight the Dark Ones." Serenity was overwhelmed by the sight of so many beings, all dedicated to the same goal. "I'm honored to be among you," she replied. "But we have much work to do. We must strengthen our alliance and find a way to stop the Dark Ones before they cause more harm." The blue, translucent being nodded. "Indeed. Each of us brings unique skills and knowledge to the table. We must combine our powers and work in harmony if we are to succeed. One of the winged creatures fluttered down and landed on Serenity's shoulder. "I can scout ahead," it chirped. "I can sense the presence of the Dark Ones from afar and report back to the Alliance." A large, metallic, bodied being rumbled, "I can use my strength to create barriers. I've seen how the Dark Ones can break through normal defenses, but my barriers will hold them at bay." A being of pure energy swirled around them. "I can manipulate the cosmic energy fields. I can disrupt the Dark One's energy sources and weaken their hold on the universe." Serenity listened intently to each being, impressed by their determination and the variety of their powers. "We should start by mapping out the areas most affected by the Dark Ones," she suggested. "We need to know where their influence is the strongest and where they are likely to strike next." The Cosmic Alliance quickly got to work. The winged scouts took off in different directions, their small forms disappearing into the vastness of space. The metallic, bodied beings began to construct a series of energy-based barriers around key cosmic locations, such as the birthplaces of stars and the centers of ancient galaxies. The energy beings started to analyze the cosmic energy fields, looking for signs of the Dark One's interference. Serenity, meanwhile, focused on communicating with the other beings in the Alliance. She used her new-found skills to send out telepathic messages, sharing information, and coordinating their efforts. She also reached out to other parts of the universe, hoping to attract more allies to their cause. As the Alliance worked, they began to receive reports from the scouts. One of the winged creatures returned, its feathers ruffled. "I've found a large concentration of Dark Ones near a binary star system," it reported. "They seem to be trying to disrupt the star's orbits, which could cause a chain reaction of destruction in the surrounding area." Serenity and a group of allies immediately set off towards the binary star system. When they arrived, they saw a dark cloud of energy swirling around the two stars. The Dark Ones were visible as shadowy figures within the cloud, their malevolent energy causing the stars to flicker and dim. The metallic, bodied beings quickly erected a barrier around the star system, preventing the Dark Ones from spreading their influence further. The energy beings then began to work on disrupting the Dark Ones' energy sources. They sent waves of counter-energy into the dark cloud, causing it to roil and churn. Serenity, using her connection to the cosmic energy, focused on strengthening the barrier and providing support to the other allies. She could feel the power of the Dark Ones pushing against the barrier, trying to break through. But the Alliance held firm. As the battle raged on, Serenity noticed something strange. The Dark Ones seemed to be drawing energy from the fear and despair of the beings in nearby planets. She realized that they needed to not only fight the Dark Ones on a physical level but also address the root cause of their power. "We need to spread hope and courage among the beings in these planets," she called out to her allies. "If we can remove the source of the Dark One's power, we can weaken them." Some of the winged creatures took off towards the nearby planets. They used their ability to communicate with the inhabitants, spreading messages of hope and resilience. As the beings on the planets began to regain their courage, the Dark One's hold on the binary star system weakened. With a final, concerted effort, the Alliance launched a massive counter-attack. The energy beings sent a powerful surge of energy into the dark cloud, dispersing it. The Dark Ones, weakened by the loss of their energy source, fled the area. The Alliance had achieved a victory, but they knew it was only a small one. The Dark Ones were still out there, and they would surely return. But for now, they had managed to protect the binary star system and its surrounding planets. As they returned to the cosmic meeting point, the Alliance celebrated their success. But they also knew that they needed to continue their efforts. They discussed new strategies, ways to better coordinate their attacks, and how to spread their influence further across the universe. One of the beings suggested creating a cosmic network, a system of communication and support that would allow the Alliance to respond more quickly to the Dark One's movements. Another proposed training new allies, teaching them how to use their powers effectively against the Dark Ones. Serenity listened to all the ideas, her mind racing with possibilities. She knew that the road ahead was long and filled with challenges, but she was confident in the strength of the Cosmic Alliance. As the night began to wane, Serenity felt the familiar pull of the earthly realm. With a sense of pride in what they had accomplished and a determination to do more, she prepared to return. Opening her eyes, she found herself back in her garden. The first rays of dawn were starting to peek over the horizon, casting a warm glow over the world. Serenity lay back on the mat, looking up at the fading stars. The memories of the battle and the unity of the Cosmic Alliance were like a beacon of hope in her mind. She knew that her role in this cosmic struggle was important, and she was ready to continue fighting for the balance of the universe. As the day passed, Serenity couldn't stop thinking about the future of the Cosmic Alliance. She spent the day meditating, envisioning ways to make the Alliance stronger. She also shared her experiences with the beings on Earth, hoping to inspire them to look beyond their own world and consider the greater cosmic good. As the evening approached once again, Serenity was filled with anticipation for her next space meditation journey. She knew that there were more battles to be fought, more allies to be found, and more work to be done to protect the universe from the Dark Ones. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the landscape, Serenity made her way back to the garden. The map was waiting for her, a silent promise of another adventure into the cosmic unknown. She sat down, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath, ready to once again surrender herself to the magic of the universe. As she drifted into a state of deep relaxation, she could already feel the familiar pull of the cosmos, inviting her to continue her quest to safeguard the cosmic balance. As she delved deeper into her meditation, Serenity's consciousness expanded even further. She found herself back in the cosmic meeting point, but this time, the alliance had grown even larger. There were new beings, from different dimensions and corners of the multiverse, who had heard about their cause and had come to join. Among the new arrivals was a being from a dimension where time flowed in a circular pattern. Its body was a complex web of glowing lines, and it had the ability to see into different timelines. Another was a creature from a distant galaxy, whose skin was covered in tiny, reflective scales that could manipulate light and energy in unique ways. Serenity welcomed the new allies and introduced them to the existing members of the Alliance. They quickly began to share their abilities and ideas. The being from the circular, time dimension proposed using its knowledge of timelines to anticipate the Dark One's moves. The scaled creature suggested using its light, manipulating abilities to create illusions and distract the Dark Ones during battles. With the addition of these new allies, the Cosmic Alliance began to plan their next move. They knew that the Dark Ones would be more cautious after their previous defeat, but they also knew that the Dark Ones would not give up easily. They decided to launch a reconnaissance mission, to find out more about the Dark One's base of operations. The Winged Scouts, along with some of the new allies with enhanced sensing abilities, set off on this mission. Meanwhile, the rest of the Alliance continued to strengthen their defenses and develop new strategies. As they waited for the scouts to return, Serenity and a group of allies focused on improving the cosmic network. They worked on creating a more efficient system of communication, one that could reach every member of the Alliance, no matter how far away they were in the universe. After what seemed like hours, the scouts returned with important information. They had located a large, dark structure in a remote part of the universe. It was surrounded by a thick cloud of dark energy, and it seemed to be the center of the Dark One's operations. The Alliance knew that this was a crucial discovery. They began to plan a major offensive against the Dark One's base. They discussed the best way to approach the structure, how to break through the dark energy cloud, and how to deal with the Dark Ones once they were inside. The being from the circular, time dimension used its powers to analyze different possible timelines of the upcoming battle. It showed the Alliance the most promising strategies, the ones that had the highest chance of success. As the night drew to a close, Serenity once again felt the pull of the earthly realm. But this time, she carried with her the weight of the upcoming battle. She knew that the next encounter with the Dark Ones would be the most difficult one yet, but she was determined to lead the Cosmic Alliance to victory. Opening her eyes, she was back in her garden, the world around her bathed in the soft light of dawn. Serenity knew that her space meditation journeys were leading her towards a decisive confrontation with the Dark Ones. And with the strength of the Cosmic Alliance at her side, she was ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. Chapter 5: The Battle for the Cosmic Core. The night cast a velvety shroud over Serenity's garden as she once again settled onto her meditation mat. The air was thick with a mix of anticipation and trepidation, for she knew that the next cosmic journey would bring her and the Alliance to the doorstep of the Dark One's stronghold. With a deep breath, she closed her eyes, ready to embrace the familiar weightlessness that would carry her into the heart of the cosmic conflict. As she entered the cosmic realm, Serenity found herself in the midst of the bustling cosmic meeting point. The Alliance members were gathered, their auras ablaze with determination. The news of the Dark One's base discovery had spread like wildfire, and every being was prepared to play their part in the impending battle. The scaled creature, whose name was Luminose, stepped forward. Its scales shimmered with a kaleidoscope of colors as it addressed the group. "We've been analyzing the dark energy cloud around their base. It's a complex web of negative energy, but I believe that with a coordinated effort, we can disrupt it. My light, manipulating abilities can be used to create pockets of intense illumination that might break through the cloud's density." The being from the circular time dimension, named Chronos, added, "I've been studying the timelines. There's a narrow window of opportunity when the Dark One's defenses will be at their weakest. We need to strike then. But it will require precise timing and flawless execution." Serenity nodded, her mind racing with strategies. "We should divide into teams. One team will focus on breaching the dark energy cloud. Another will be responsible for neutralizing the Dark One's outer defenses. And a third team, including myself, will make a direct assault on the core of their base, where their power seems to be concentrated." The metallic, bodied beings, known as the Adamant Guard, rumbled their agreement. "Our barriers will protect the teams as they approach. We'll also use our strength to break through any physical obstacles in our path." The winged scouts fluttered excitedly. "We'll fly ahead and provide real-time information on the Dark One's movements. We can also create distractions to draw their attention away from the main assault." With the plan in place, the Alliance set off towards the Dark One's base. As they approached, the dark energy cloud loomed before them like a malevolent storm. The air crackled with negative energy, and the very fabric of space seemed to distort under its influence. The team led by Luminos initiated the first move. Luminos and its allies unleashed a barrage of intense, multi-colored light beams into the cloud. The light danced and weaved through the dark energy, creating pockets of disruption. Slowly but surely, the cloud began to thin in certain areas. The adamant guard moved forward, erecting a series of powerful barriers around the team. The Dark Ones, sensing the intrusion, launched a counter-attack. Streams of dark energy lashed out at the Alliance, but the barriers held firm, absorbing and deflecting the attacks. The winged scouts darted in and out of the cloud, creating a commotion. They chirped and fluttered, drawing the Dark One's attention away from the main efforts to breach the cloud. Some of the Dark Ones broke off from their defense of the cloud to pursue the scouts, falling right into the distraction trap. As the cloud weakened, Serenity signaled for the second team to move in. They charged forward, their powers at the ready. The energy beings among them sent waves of positive cosmic energy towards the Dark One's outer defenses, disrupting their energy-based shields. The metallic-bodied beings used their brute force to shatter the remaining physical barriers. Serenity, leading the third team, made her way through the breached defenses towards the core of the base. The interior of the base was a labyrinth of dark corridors, filled with a sense of foreboding. But the Alliance members pressed on, their resolve unshaken. Suddenly, a horde of Dark Ones emerged from the shadows. They were shadowy, formless figures, their eyes glowing with a malevolent red light. They launched a fierce attack, sending tendrils of dark energy towards the Alliance. Serenity called upon the power of the stars, channeling their energy into a protective shield around her team. The other members of the team fought back with their unique abilities. The being with the ability to manipulate time, Chronos, slowed down the Dark One's attacks, giving the Alliance an edge. As they fought their way deeper into the base, they came across a large, pulsating sphere at the core. This was the source of the Dark One's power, a swirling mass of concentrated negative energy. Serenity knew that they had to destroy it, but it was heavily guarded by some of the most powerful Dark Ones. These Dark Ones were larger, their forms more solid, and their energy more intense. The battle around the core was fierce. The Alliance members fought with all their might, but the Dark Ones were determined to protect their power source. Serenity could feel the tide of the battle turning against them. The Dark One's attacks were relentless, and the Alliance was starting to tire. But then, Serenity remembered the lesson she had learned about the power of hope and courage. She sent out a telepathic message to all the Alliance members, reminding them of their purpose, of the countless beings in the universe that were counting on them. In a moment of unity, the Alliance members summoned their last reserves of strength. The energy beings combined their powers, sending a massive wave of positive cosmic energy towards the dark ones guarding the core. The adamant guard charged forward, their barriers strengthened by the collective will of the Alliance. The winged scouts, seeing an opportunity, flew towards the pulsating sphere. They used their small size to their advantage, slipping through the defenses and attacking the sphere directly. Their wings, now infused with the power of the Alliance, began to chip away at the dark energy. With a final, earth-shattering blast, the Alliance managed to break through the Dark One's defenses around the core. Serenity, with the final burst of energy, reached the sphere. She placed her hands on it and channeled all the positive energy she could muster. The sphere began to shake, and then, with a blinding flash, it exploded. The dark energy that had been fueling the Dark Ones dissipated, and the remaining Dark Ones were left weakened and disoriented. The Alliance had done it. They had destroyed the Dark One's power source. The base began to crumble around them, but the Alliance members made their way out safely. As they emerged from the base, they were greeted by a sight of celebration. The cosmic beings who had been waiting outside cheered and hailed the Alliance as heroes. The dark energy cloud around the base began to disperse, and the universe seemed to breathe a sigh of relief. Serenity looked around at her allies, a sense of pride and accomplishment filling her. They had faced the greatest threat to the cosmic balance and had emerged victorious. But she also knew that this was not the end. There were still remnants of the Dark Ones, and they would need to remain vigilant. As the night began to end, Serenity felt the pull of the earthly realm. With a heart full of memories and a new-found sense of responsibility, she prepared to return. Opening her eyes, she found herself back in her garden. The sun was rising, casting a warm, golden glow over the world. Serenity lay back on the mat, looking up at the sky. The memories of the battle were vivid in her mind. She knew that her space meditation journeys had changed her life forever. She was no longer just a seeker of cosmic knowledge but a defender of the universe. As the day passed, Serenity shared the story of the battle with the beings on Earth. She hoped that her tale would inspire them to look after their own world and to understand the importance of balance and unity. As the evening approached once again, Serenity was filled with a sense of calm and purpose. She knew that there would be more challenges in the future, but she was confident in the strength of the Cosmic Alliance. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the landscape, Serenity made her way back to the garden. The mat was waiting for her, a silent invitation to continue her cosmic adventures. She sat down, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath, ready to once again surrender herself to the magic of the universe. As she drifted into a state of deep relaxation, She could already feel the familiar pull of the cosmos, inviting her to explore new frontiers and to safeguard the cosmic balance. As she delved deeper into her meditation, Serenity's consciousness expanded. She found herself in a peaceful region of the cosmic realm. The stars here were larger and more luminous, and a gentle, melodious hum filled the air. It was as if the universe was celebrating their victory. Suddenly, a figure appeared before her. It was an ancient-looking being, its body made of a pure, white light. The being smiled at Serenity and spoke in a voice that seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere at once. "Well done, Serenity. You and your alliance have accomplished a great feat. But the journey is far from over. There are still other threats in the universe, and new lessons to be learned." Serenity looked at the being with curiosity and respect. "What lies ahead?" she asked. The being replied, "There are hidden dimensions that are on the verge of collapse. Their instability could cause a chain reaction that would affect the entire cosmic balance. You and your alliance must find a way to stabilize these dimensions. It will require all of your knowledge, skills, and the unity you've built." Serenity nodded. "We're ready," she said, her voice filled with determination. The being then vanished, leaving Serenity with a new mission. As the night drew to a close, Serenity knew that the Cosmic Alliance had a new challenge awaiting them. And she was eager to share this news with her allies and embark on this new cosmic adventure. Chapter 6: The Quest to Stabilize the Hidden Dimensions. The night sky, a celestial expanse that had witnessed Serenity's numerous cosmic adventures, once again welcomed her to its embrace. The garden, bathed in the soft glow of the moon, seemed to hold its breath in anticipation of her next journey. Serenity lay on her meditation mat, her body relaxed but her mind abuzz with the new mission bestowed upon her by the ancient being of light. Closing her eyes, she took a deep breath, inhaling the sweet scent of the surrounding flowers. As she exhaled, she let go of any remaining earthly concerns, allowing herself to be fully immersed in the cosmic realm. With each successive breath, she felt the familiar sensation of weightlessness, and her consciousness expanded into the vastness of the universe. When Serenity opened her inner vision, she found herself back at the cosmic meeting point. The Alliance members were already there, as if they had sensed her arrival. Their auras were a mix of excitement and determination, ready to face whatever new challenges came their way. Serenity wasted no time in sharing the news. "We've been given a new mission," she announced. "There are hidden dimensions on the verge of collapse. If they fall, it could disrupt the entire cosmic balance." Chronos, the being from the circular, time dimension, stepped forward. "This is a grave matter. The instability of these dimensions could create ripples in the space-time continuum. We need to understand the root cause of their collapse before we can attempt to stabilize them. Luminous, the scaled creature, nodded. My light manipulating abilities might be useful in exploring these hidden dimensions. Light can penetrate through many barriers and reveal secrets that are otherwise hidden. The adamant guard rumbled their agreement. Our strength and barriers will be crucial in case we encounter any threats within these dimensions. The winged scouts fluttered with enthusiasm. We can scout ahead, map out the dimensions, and look for any signs of what's causing the instability. With the plan taking shape, the Alliance set off in search of the hidden dimensions. Using a combination of Chrono's knowledge of the cosmic fabric and Serenity's connection to the universal energy, they were able to locate the entrance to the first of the endangered dimensions. The entrance was a swirling vortex of multicolored light, its edges flickering with a strange, erratic energy. As they approached, they could feel the instability radiating from it. The winged scouts were the first to enter, disappearing into the vortex. Moments later, they sent back telepathic messages, describing a world filled with chaotic energy. The very air seemed to be in a state of flux, with strange, glowing structures that were constantly shifting and changing. Serenity and the rest of the Alliance followed. As they entered the dimension, they were hit with a wave of disorienting energy. The laws of physics here seemed to be different, and it took a moment for them to adjust. The team led by Luminos began to use their light-based powers to illuminate the area. The bright, multi-colored beams cut through the chaos, revealing more of the strange structures. Some of these structures seemed to be the source of the instability, pulsating with a dark, erratic energy. The adamant guard formed a protective perimeter around the group, ready to fend off any potential threats. As they moved deeper into the dimension, they encountered strange, shadowy creatures. These creatures were not like the dark ones they had faced before. They seemed to be manifestations of the dimension's instability, their forms constantly changing and their movements erratic. The Alliance members engaged the creatures. The energy beings among them sent out waves of calming cosmic energy, trying to soothe the creatures and neutralize their aggressive behavior. The metallic-bodied adamant guard used their strength to push back the more powerful of the shadowy forms. Serenity, meanwhile, focused on understanding the source of the instability. She noticed that the strange structures were connected by a network of energy lines. These lines were frayed and broken in many places, causing the energy to flow erratically. She called upon the help of some of the energy beings. Together, they began to repair the energy lines. Using their combined powers, they were able to reconnect the broken lines, redirecting the energy in a more stable manner. As they worked on the energy lines, the shadowy creatures began to calm down. The chaotic energy in the air started to subside, and the strange structures stopped their erratic pulsations. But just as they thought they were making progress, a new problem arose. A large, dark void opened up in the center of the dimension. The void was sucking in everything around it, including the repaired energy lines and the now calm shadowy creatures. Kronos analyzed the situation using its time-sensing abilities. This void is a result of the long-term instability. It's like a black hole, but different. We need to find a way to close it before it consumes the entire dimension. The winged scouts flew around the void, looking for any signs of a way to seal it. They noticed that there were small, glowing crystals on the edges of the void. These crystals seemed to be the key to closing it. The Alliance members worked together. The Adamant Guard used their strength to retrieve the crystals, while the energy beings and Serenity used their powers to channel energy into the crystals. As the crystals absorbed the energy, they began to glow brighter. Slowly, the Alliance placed the crystals around the void. As the last crystal was put in place, a bright light emanated from them. The light began to shrink the void, and after a few tense moments, the void closed completely. The dimension started to stabilize. The strange structures stopped their erratic behavior, and the shadowy creatures vanished. The air, which had been filled with chaotic energy, now had a sense of calm. The Alliance had managed to stabilize the first of the hidden dimensions. But they knew there were more to go. As they prepared to leave the dimension, they took a moment to celebrate their success. Serenity looked at her allies, filled with gratitude. "We couldn't have done this without each and every one of you," she said. The Alliance members nodded, their eyes filled with pride. They knew that they were making a difference in the universe, one dimension at a time. As the night began to wane, Serenity felt the pull of the earthly realm. With a sense of accomplishment and a determination to continue their mission, she prepared to return. Opening her eyes, she found herself back in her garden. The first rays of dawn were starting to paint the sky with hues of pink and orange. Serenity lay back on the mat, looking up at the sky. The memories of their adventure in the hidden dimension were fresh in her mind. She knew that her role as a defender of the cosmic balance was more important than ever. As the day passed, Serenity shared the story of their adventure with the beings on Earth. She hoped that her tale would inspire them to appreciate the delicate balance of the universe and to take care of their own world. As the evening approached once again, Serenity was filled with anticipation for their next cosmic journey. She knew that there were more hidden dimensions to stabilize, and she was confident in the abilities of the Cosmic Alliance. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the landscape, Serenity made her way back to the garden. The mat was waiting for her, a silent invitation to continue her cosmic adventures. She sat down, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath, ready to once again surrender herself to the magic of the universe. As she drifted into a state of deep relaxation, she could already feel the familiar pull of the cosmos, inviting her to explore the next hidden dimension and continue her quest to safeguard the cosmic balance. As she delved deeper into her meditation, Serenity's consciousness expanded further. She found herself back at the cosmic meeting point, where the Alliance was already discussing the next hidden dimension. This time, reports from some of the more far-reaching scouts indicated that the next dimension was filled with a strange, corrosive mist. This mist was eating away at the very fabric of the dimension, causing its instability. The Alliance members brainstormed ideas on how to deal with the mist. One of the energy beings suggested creating a counter-energy field that could neutralize the corrosive properties of the mist. Another proposed using a special type of cosmic shield, similar to the ones the Adamant Guard could create, but designed to specifically repel the mist. Serenity listened intently, adding her own thoughts. We also need to find the source of this mist. There must be something in the dimension that's generating it. If we can stop the source, we might be able to save the dimension more effectively. With a new plan in place, the Alliance set off towards the entrance of the second hidden dimension. As they approached, they could see the swirling, noxious-looking mist seeping out of the entrance. The air around it was filled with a strange, acrid smell, and the very sight of the mist made the Alliance members cautious. The Adamant Guard stepped forward first, creating a large, protective shield around the group. The energy beings then began to generate the counter-energy field, slowly pushing the mist back. The winged scouts flew ahead, carefully navigating through the mist, trying to find a clear path for the Alliance to follow. As they entered the dimension, they were surrounded by the thick, corrosive mist. Even with the protective shield and the counter-energy field, they could feel the mist's effects. The shield started to show signs of wear, and the counter-energy field needed constant adjustment. The scouts reported back that they had found a large, glowing spire in the center of the dimension. It seemed to be the source of the mist. The Alliance made their way towards the spire, facing numerous challenges along the way. The mist was not the only obstacle. There were strange, mechanical-looking creatures that emerged from the mist, attacking the Alliance. The metallic-bodied Adamant Guard took the brunt of the attacks, using their strength and barriers to fend off the mechanical creatures. The energy beings used their powers to disrupt the creatures' internal mechanisms, causing them to malfunction. As they got closer to the spire, they realized that it was not a natural structure. It seemed to be a device, built by some unknown entity. Serenity, along with a group of energy beings, focused on deactivating the device. They studied the energy signatures of the spire, looking for a way to shut it down. After some intense work, they found a weak point in the spire's energy system. Serenity, using her connection to the cosmic energy, sent a powerful surge of energy into the weak point. The spire shuddered, and the mist started to dissipate. The mechanical creatures, now without the support of the mist generating spire, stopped their attacks. The Alliance continued to work on deactivating the spire completely. With the final burst of energy, the spire powered down, and the mist disappeared completely. The dimension, now free from the corrosive mist, began to stabilize. The strange mechanical creatures either stopped moving or disintegrated. The Alliance had once again succeeded in their mission. As they prepared to leave the dimension, they took a moment to reflect on their journey. They knew that each dimension presented unique challenges, but together, they were able to overcome them. As the night drew to a close, Serenity once again felt the pull of the earthly realm. With a heart full of hope and determination, she opened her eyes to find herself back in her garden. The world around her was bathed in the soft light of dawn, and Serenity knew that there were more adventures and challenges waiting for her and the Cosmic Alliance in the vast expanse of the universe. Chapter 7: The Cosmic Rift, Unraveling the Final Mystery. The night air carried a sense of mystery and anticipation as Serenity made her way to her garden meditation spot. The stars above seemed to twinkle with a secret message, as if guiding her towards the next phase of her cosmic adventure. She lay down on the meditation mat, feeling a deep connection to the universe around her. Closing her eyes, Serenity took a long, deep breath. Inhaling, she drew in the cool, fragrant air, and as she exhaled, she let go of any remaining earthly thoughts. With each breath, she felt herself being drawn deeper into the cosmic realm, her consciousness expanding to embrace the unknown. When Serenity opened her inner vision, she found herself at the cosmic meeting point once again. The Alliance members were already gathered, their auras a blend of excitement and concern. They had all felt the ripples in the cosmic energy, a sign that there was still a great mystery to be unraveled. Serenity addressed the group. "We've stabilized 2 hidden dimensions, but there's a sense that there's an underlying cause to all this instability. A cosmic rift, perhaps, that's affecting multiple aspects of the universe." Kronos, the being from the circular, time dimension, nodded. "I've been studying the cosmic timelines. There are anomalies that suggest a fundamental disruption at the very core of the universe. This could be the source of all the problems we've been facing. Luminose, the scaled creature, added, "My light-based explorations have revealed some strange energy signatures. They seem to be connected to an area in the far reaches of the cosmic web, an area that's normally hidden from our view." The adamant guard rumbled their agreement. "We must be prepared for anything. This could be our most challenging mission yet." The winged scouts fluttered with eagerness. "We'll scout ahead and try to find the exact location of this cosmic rift." With a new mission in mind, the Alliance set off. The winged scouts took to the skies, disappearing into the vast expanse of the cosmic web. As they flew, they sent back reports of strange energy fluctuations. The Alliance followed their lead, navigating through the complex cosmic landscape. After what seemed like an eternity, the scouts reported that they had found the location of the cosmic rift. It was in a region where the cosmic energy was so dense that it was almost solid. The rift itself was a swirling, dark void, sucking in everything around it. The edges of the rift were lined with strange, glowing symbols that seemed to be both ancient and powerful. As the Alliance approached the rift, they could feel its immense power. The adamant guard immediately formed a protective barrier around the group, while the energy beings started to analyze the energy signatures of the rift. Serenity, using her connection to the cosmic energy, tried to sense the origin of the rift. She could feel a malevolent force at work, a force that had been slowly tearing at the fabric of the universe. But she also sensed that there was a way to seal the rift, a key hidden within the symbols on its edges. The energy beings worked tirelessly to decipher the symbols. They used their knowledge of cosmic energy and ancient languages to make sense of the glowing inscriptions. Meanwhile, the winged scouts flew around the rift, looking for any signs of how to approach it safely. After hours of intense work, the energy beings managed to decipher some of the symbols. They revealed that the rift was created by a powerful being long ago. This being had been seeking ultimate power and had tried to break through the boundaries of the universe, creating the rift in the process. The symbols also provided a clue on how to seal the rift. They needed to find a cosmic artifact, a powerful crystal that was said to have the power to restore balance. The crystal was hidden in a nearby, long forgotten cosmic temple. The Alliance wasted no time. They set off towards the location of the cosmic temple. The temple was a massive, ancient structure, its walls adorned with more strange symbols and carvings. As they entered the temple, they were greeted by a series of challenges. There were traps hidden throughout the temple. Some were triggered by movement, while others were based on complex puzzles. The adamant guard used their strength to break through physical barriers, while Chronos used its time manipulation abilities to avoid the traps that were based on timing. The winged scouts flew ahead, looking for the crystal. They found it in a large, central chamber. The crystal was a brilliant, multi-colored gem, pulsating with a powerful energy. But as they approached the crystal, a large, spectral guardian emerged from the shadows. The spectral guardian was a formidable opponent. It was made of pure energy, and its attacks were both powerful and unpredictable. The adamant guard formed a shield around the group, while the energy beings launched counter-attacks. Serenity, realizing that brute force might not be enough, focused on understanding the guardian. She used her telepathic abilities to communicate with it. Slowly, she learned that the guardian was bound to protect the crystal until a worthy being came to claim it. Serenity explained the importance of the crystal in sealing the cosmic rift. The guardian, after a moment of hesitation, seemed to understand. It stepped aside, allowing the Alliance to take the crystal. With the crystal in hand, the Alliance rushed back to the cosmic rift. The energy beings used their powers to attune the crystal to the energy of the rift. Serenity, along with the rest of the Alliance, channeled their combined energy into the crystal. The crystal began to glow brighter and brighter. Its energy spread out, reaching the edges of the rift. The strange symbols on the rift started to glow in response. Slowly, the rift began to close. The swirling void shrank, and the cosmic energy in the area started to stabilize. With a final burst of energy, the rift sealed completely. The universe seemed to sigh in relief, and the cosmic energy returned to its normal, harmonious state. The Alliance had done it. They had unraveled the mystery of the cosmic rift and restored balance to the universe. As the night began to wane, Serenity felt the familiar pull of the earthly realm. With a sense of pride and accomplishment, she prepared to return. Opening her eyes, she found herself back in her garden. The first rays of dawn were starting to paint the sky with hues of gold and pink. Serenity lay back on the mat, looking up at the sky. The memories of their epic adventure were like a precious treasure in her mind. She knew that her journey had not only changed her but had also made a difference in the entire universe. As the day passed, Serenity shared the story of their final mission with the beings on Earth. She hoped that her tale would inspire them to always strive for balance and to protect the beauty of the universe. As the evening approached once again, Serenity was filled with a sense of peace. She knew that the universe was now safe, at least for the time being. But she also knew that there would always be new mysteries to explore, new adventures to embark on. As the sun set, casting a warm glow over the landscape, Serenity made her way back to the garden. The mat was waiting for her, a silent reminder of her cosmic adventures. She sat down, closed her eyes, and took a deep breath, ready to once again surrender herself to the magic of the universe. As she drifted into a state of deep relaxation, she knew that the universe held countless more wonders, and she was ready to embrace them all. As she delved deeper into her meditation, Serenity's consciousness expanded to a new level. She found herself in a peaceful, celestial realm. There were beings of light all around her, smiling and celebrating. One of the beings, a tall, luminous figure, approached her. The figure spoke in a voice that was both gentle and powerful. "Serenity, you and your alliance have done an incredible service to the universe. Your journey has been one of growth, courage, and self-discovery. But remember, the universe is an ever-changing place. There will always be new challenges, new opportunities for you to shine." Serenity nodded. "I'm ready. I've learned so much, and I know that there's still so much more to learn." The figure smiled. "Then go forth, and continue to explore. The universe is your canvas, and your adventures are the brush strokes that paint its beauty." With those words, Serenity felt a new sense of purpose. As the night drew to a close, she opened her eyes, back in her garden. The world around her seemed more vibrant, more full of life. And she knew that no matter what the future held, she was ready to face it, armed with the lessons of her cosmic adventures.